Well, I'm Chris, and this is my Jeep Wrangler TJ hardtop to soft top conversion video. So the first thing is we got to get the hardtop off. If you work alone, you don't have anybody to help you, you're gonna have to make something like this. But the truth is, it takes a few minutes for two people to pull that thing right off. Okay, so this is a Harbor Freight 2-ton engine hoist. I did have to modify it, drilling a hole, bringing that out a few inches. And a little homemade wood thing I made. Use straps if you can. So take the top off. We're here at the windshield. Take your sun visors, move them out of the way, and there's two latches, one on each side. So we're in the back of the Jeep. That's the hardtop glass, and on that little channel right there on both sides, you'll have 6 bolts. These have T40 Torx, and I think they have a nut and a bolt on that side right there, but super simple, just 6 nuts and bolts or Torx. Okay, so on this one, the hardtop has a little plug. It'll plug all this stuff and the little water line for the wiper. So I'm using these straps right here because they're going to support the weight the best. All right, so it pretty much looks like the Jeep got a haircut. So that little 3 seconds I moved forward with the top off the Jeep for the first time, I universally understood Jeep people for the first time, because that's the first time I've ever rode in a Jeep with the top off. And to be honest with you, there's no way in the world I'm putting that back on. I'm gonna have it for sale in Houston, Texas. I'm gonna try to get $1,500 for it. Real good shape. Okay, so this is my first Jeep, and obviously I've never put a soft top on, so we're gonna see how easy or hard this is. They say this one takes a few hours to put on. So you wanna get that top out and set it out in the sun. There is no sun today, but hopefully we'll get it on. So we're gonna show everything, but I'm not gonna really focus in on something unless it stops me and I have to figure it out. Okay, so the black diamond looks really good in real life, but we need to get those windows and put them in a safe place for now. All right, assemble rear bow. So the hardest part is not having a giant table. I guess you could do this on the ground. I'm gonna try my best. Step 1, just study the picture, you'll figure it out. It's pretty easy. Now these are self-tapping small screws. Always do this by hand. Don't use power tools, you'll strip them out. All right, step 1 complete. Step 2, assemble side bows to header. The header has the 2 clamps and these 2 things. You got to pay attention to what direction it says to point these little knobs in. On this header, it tells you to point them outside. On the previous step 1, it was on the inside. To fasten the header panel, once these screws, and now I understand why these professional videos don't show every detail, because it's really hard to show every little thing because the parts are just so big and awkward. So just tighten this in. It says to use Loctite. I'm not going to put any. Step 3, secure center bow to side bow header assembly. What in the world does that mean? So we got the header to the front, center bow to the back. It's got these long pieces and it's got these little feet. You're gonna set right there while you fasten it over there. So we got a screw, plastic bushing in there like that. And the nut. Putting all this loose for right now. Okay, so yeah, that piece was really confusing. Now we're going to these brackets right here. So this is the factory soft top brackets, and we need to expose all this and change these brackets to the ones in the kit. All right, so then these are T30. Going to get them off. BESTOP brackets are a little bit different. They don't allow for as much adjustment, but pay attention to these 3 right here. So the further to the back of the vehicle, the tighter the top is. So since this is a brand new tight top, we need it to the most forward position. So we're going to be using that hole. Keep that stuff in mind. So even if you put in that hole and the top was still too tight, you might have to enlarge these just a little bit, but we'll see if we have any problems with that. Okay, do the other side just like that. Step 5, mount header assembly to pivot bracket. So the brackets we just installed, the higher mount. Let's see how hard that is to get on. With this big one on the brackets with the 3 little holes. Remember, we're going to put it on the set of holes that's closest to the front. So that was super easy. 7 of those little strips, we got to undo them and screw them to the piece we just put on. So let's see how easy that is or hard. The bow we just installed, it's got 3 little screws. I don't know if you can see them, but you'll see me putting the screws in right now. We got to get those big straps in. Now we move on to the door surrounds. Notice it says to take that little seal off, so we got to get that off carefully. Then these are the door surrounds. Kind of fit together like that. Let's get them. Okay, it goes right on there. So at the top we got these right here. 2 holes right there. You're just gonna push them forward a little bit. It goes straight through. Can't mess this up. Let's get them on there. Okay. All right, just shut the door real quick and make sure they do close okay. Nice. Door surrounds were super easy. Now we're at number 10, Orient tailgate mounts. So we're gonna go ahead and put the ones that came in the kit. Step 13, install the top arch. So you see we just kind of stick it on that side in there. Just give it a little bit of tension right there. So it does fit loose. Hopefully it doesn't rattle. I guess we'll go ahead and take this thing off. That's just to protect the foam. Okay, so we got the metal frame just retracted back where it goes. Now we got to start to put the cloth on. We're going to kind of fold it in that area. We're going to start the screws on the header panel. So it's got a bunch of screws you're going to put in here. Try to center it the best you can. Start in the middle. Okay, so when you get those screws with washers in there, be careful. It's going to want this oval head screw on this corner. You got to kind of look for where the hole is right there. Now we're going to try to pick the top up, and we're going to do snap flaps to rear bow with those things. So just these button things, you got to wrap them around and button them right here. Kind of hard to show. But... oh man, this is a workout. The next step is to fasten these. We already put those plastic inserts in. Those are super difficult to fit in there. You'll see them, big plastic pieces, and they zip up. You can kind of see them in there. Super hard to do. It's going to kick your butt, but it's going to give it a nice look. It's going to create these marks, but they will go away. Get them in there and try to hook it. You're going to have to work your butt off. It's super hard to do it. Get them latched one time, and then you're going to see if you can secure these hooks. What you're trying to do is you're trying to stretch the top out. This one had some kind of weird creases right here, so I'm telling you right now, you need to take some time, hook that, try to latch that, and if you can't latch it, unhook that, latch it, back and forth 2 or 3 times, and you're going to stretch the top out. It's going to be super hard to get this header panel clamped at first. So this one right here used to have a gap that was like 1 inch, and going back and forth, we're closing that gap right there. So just letting you know what I did to get that gap closer. It's looking better. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. I know it's going to stretch a little bit more. Now we got those clamped. Remember, they're going to be super duper hard to clamp. So this is going to kick your butt. We're going to try to pull those two for the last time. So it's starting to flatten all the creases out. Now remember the header panel gap right here. It's also contrasting all that dirt, so it's showing up. But this one was 1 inch at first. Now it's down to about 1/2 inch. And like I said, go back and forth, clamping it. We got it clamped and we got that secured. It's ready to go. See, those gaps on the side look bad, but when you look at the front of the header panel, there's no gaps. It looks good. So this is Velcro thing, got to wrap around that rod, and we need to undo the backs again because it's too tight. So let's figure out how to get that Velcroed. Not easy. Okay, that was a freaking workout. Okay, now we're gonna strap these back again. Okay, it's getting dark, but you can already see what it looks like. I love this top so much already. I am freaking gonna sell this right now. The guy called me earlier about it. I don't even want this anymore. This is freaking awesome. Let's get those windows in. So when you put your top on for the first time, you gotta put these two little plastic little clips or whatever these are. There's 2 of them. You just gotta flip them in. You see how this channel got Velcro. These 2 in. We're gonna try to pull the bottoms down. That's nice. I mean, it was kind of hard, but it worked out great. Look at that. So this window's got that freaking curve at the top. It's not the end of the world. I'm pretty sure I can keep stretching that, figure something out to get that out. All right, so we just screwed with it for a little bit, and it does look a lot better than it first did. So I'm gonna let that pass. I'm pretty sure it's gonna flatten out. So it's gonna come with its own tailgate bar. So just putting that soft top on just now, I instantly found out why people hate them. It's a lot of maintenance. It's not easy to put them on. Don't be fooled by these videos where people act like, oh, it's so easy, anybody can do it. It is doable, but it's definitely not easy, especially not on a new top. But I already found a buyer at $1,500 for that one, thanks to Craigslist. Hopefully it'll be gone tomorrow. I'll even put it on his Jeep for him if he brings it over here. All right, so that's the other side. Remember, we were having that issue on the top of the glass, and it's already starting to work itself out. It's still there, but we'll stretch it out, especially when the sun gets on it tomorrow. So this top has a lot of negative reviews on the internet for some reason, and I didn't have any issues with it. Didn't even let it sit out in the sun. All passes the test. It's beautiful. I can't wait to put it down as a convertible, which I'm gonna have to wait about a week or 2 to make those videos, because this thing needs to stretch out and form itself to this Jeep. Now, don't be fooled by any videos on YouTube that say this is an easy job. It will kick your butt. Give yourself all day to do it. It took me about 4 or 5 hours to get it on there, but I don't know, I did take some breaks. But definitely not going to be an hour or 2 job, especially not your first time. All right, well, that's it. BESTOP SUPERTOP NX passes the test 100%. I'll recommend it to anybody, and I'll probably be buying that top for the rest of my life. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.